Another email from the state police?
Yes, Andrew. And if you want to know what's in it, stay tuned. I'm Duane Urban, and welcome to the Urban Defense Podcast, featuring discussion on firearms, concealed carry, self-defense, the law, and much more. Designed to inform, educate, and increase your survival in a critical incident. And in this episode, we'll be talking about the recent Maryland State Police email and the law changes that take effect October 1st, 2024. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So, Andrew, email from the state police. What in the world do we have here?
Happy October 1st, Duane. Time for laws to take effect in our great state of Maryland.
Yes, it is a wonderful day, isn't it? I say that facetiously, of course.
Yeah. When the legislature's in session, trouble ensues. The state legislature, in their infinite wisdom, has passed 4 new firearms bills that all have effective dates today, October 1st.
And what are these bills? How many are there?
4.
4. Did you say that?
Yes.
I fucked it up.
It's okay.
All right. So there's 4 bills, and you're going to go through them all.
I'm going to do my best.
All right. Well, let's start with one of them.
Number 1, the most exciting for every gun owner in the state, is the Center for Firearm Violence Prevention and Intervention has been established.
So I've read through this a little bit, and honestly, this is a little bit disturbing to me, but why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is?
So this new center has been created by the legislature, and the center must work in consultation with specified state agencies and stakeholders to solicit and consider recommendations from specified communities and experts to submit to the governor and the General Assembly a plan to reduce firearm violence, harm from firearm violence, and misuse of firearms in the state by partnering with various stakeholders. And we're going to try a public health approach to firearm violence reduction.
And so here's the concern and the problem I have with this. That you hear it in the computer programming field, garbage in, garbage out, right? So if they stack this group, this organization with people that they want to go a certain way, we're going to have potentially more problems.
Yes, this very prestigious Center for Firearm Violence Prevention and Intervention will almost certainly be used to justify curtailing the Second Amendment in Maryland.
And so they're going to be looking for specific trends or, I guess, analyzing different crimes and things like that to determine the effect of firearms on violence and apparently public health in Maryland.
This is going to lead to situations where when you go to your doctor, your firearm ownership could be discussed, that when your children are seen by a doctor, they may be asked about this. When you go to school, what your children may be taught about firearms, all may come from this.
Well, interestingly enough, when I went to the doctor recently, I was already asked about that. They have a question about firearms in the house. I just told them I'm a Marxist and I don't believe in gun ownership.
And what did they say?
They said, wunderbar. Comrade. So,
yes.
Look, it's on the face of it, it sounds like it's a administrative bill where they're trying to gather data, but I see it being misused.
We will see on May 1st, when the first report is released in 2025, what work they have accomplished and what their recommendations are. And we need to be all very cognizant because this is going to be the blueprint for curtailing rights in Maryland.
So my question is, who or where do they find these people that are allegedly supposed to be collecting this data or running this center?
That's a good question.
Are they like Facebook fact checkers? Like you just kind of, they're just kind of out there. You don't really know who they are. What is their qualifications to be certified to do this?
I am anticipating it's going to consist of a number of elected officials and their designees, and then a number of quasi-public-private organizations and their designees.
Got it.
This bill, the key concern is nothing in the short term, but this is going to drive future legislation here in Maryland.
Understood. So what do we have next?
everyone's favorite rapid fire activator switch auto sears. The ban is in effect today. You can no longer have them here under Maryland state law.
Even though they were already illegal under federal law.
Well, never let that stand in the way. So, yeah, here in Maryland, your rapid fire trigger activator and your switch auto sears, no longer any good.
Still no longer any good. Double negative.
Yes.
Yeah, they just kind of licked the envelope twice.
Is that kind of like not disapproved?
Yes. So if you have one, it's too late. Can't be using it. You're going to be committing a crime just by having it.
Not only a federal crime, but a state crime.
Yes.
All right. What's next?
House Bill 1063. This is expanding the meaning of an underlying crime for the purposes of establishing a pattern of organized criminal activity. This really is the state RICO charge, and this is expanding the underlying predicates that could give rise to a state RICO charge.
Okay. All right. So maybe not as relevant as some of the other ones.
If you are a criminal and you are out committing crimes, be very careful when you're carrying your firearm, because this will be an enhancement on your state RICO case.
There's no criminals in Baltimore. Come on.
Crime is down, sir.
That's what I keep hearing. All right. So there's one more, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is that?
This is the Department of Juvenile Services is going to prepare a report and report to the Commission on Juvenile Justice Reform and Emerging and Best Practices. Quite a committee. And the General Assembly by December 1st, the number of juveniles in the Department of Juvenile Services under their care, custody, supervision, who were non-fatally shot, who were the victims of a homicide, and what DJS did in response to every time this happened, the age of the individuals that were the victims, and the county of residence of the victims. Now, once again, all of these victims are in the care, custody, or supervision of the Department of Juvenile Services. So we will have a list of the ages and counties where juveniles are being shot and or killed.
Okay.
This kind of data, I can see no harm in collecting it. I am almost certain I know where the two leading municipalities will be, but we will let the data support my contentions.
I'm sure taxpayer money well spent.
Absolutely.
Trust the science.
Yes. So just so that everyone understands why these emails keep coming out is that as of the last legislative session was passed into law that the state police licensing division has to send out an email notification to people that are registered gun owners in Maryland, any of the new laws that are getting ready to take effect. And I think they have to do so, 30 days, at least 30 days prior or something like that?
They have to send it out after it has been enacted and then prior to its
Prior to the date of effective date.
yes.
Okay. Well, any further discussion on this, or we'll just catch them on the next one?
Though I'm sure there will be more emails coming out next year, unfortunately.
So for the Urban Defense Podcast, remember, knowledge is mental ammunition, and train, fight, and win.